Hey guys, what is good? I want to talk today about imperfect action, which is one of the things that I think is uh, it's like a leading, not a leading, but I'd say it's a big cause when it comes to procrastination. Like it's a reason as to why people will procrastinate, even though they know they gotta do it and they kind of know they're gonna suck, but they want it to be perfect, right? And it's the idea of imperfect action, where you're doing something even though it's going to be terrible, because as long as you've tried your best, that's really all that matters. You know what I mean? Like if you plan on doing this thing, and you don't plan on doing it just once, you plan on having it be like maybe a part of your life, or it's something that you really want to get good at, you know, you got to do it many times over, and it's not going to be perfect at first, and it really shouldn't be, but if it is, you're one of the lucky few. But if it's not, welcome to the club. That's what it is, right? That's the game. And honestly, it requires some sort of learning, because in order to learn, you gotta fail, right? And I don't mean fail as in like that's the end of it. No. I mean fail as in like you're just having a course correction, right? You're just kind of correcting your course. And so imperfect action is really, it's a really quick topic, right? But it's really important because it stops many people, and it stopped me when it came to doing the things that I really wanted to do. But something that really helped me personally is the idea of being competent and being confident, right? At first you want to try something, maybe you have like, maybe you're confident that you could be pretty good at it, and you try it and you find out you suck. Your competence is very low. But as you keep trying, you gotta have the ego to keep trying, right? And as you keep trying, you get better because you learn all the things that don't work, and so your competence goes up. But guess what? As your competence goes up and you start to actually get better, you realize you're getting better. And what happens is that your confidence goes up, right? And as your confidence goes up, you keep trying new things, you try different things, and you fail again on new things. But as you get better on those, your competence goes up again, right? And then confidence is going up, and you keep doing new things, keep trying new things, competence is going up. And it's just a cycle of positive feedback, right? And just to kind of like give a quick example, is that when it comes to imperfect action and the whole competence and confidence, right? You wouldn't tell your toddler to stop walking if they fell seven times, right? You wouldn't ask them to stop walking and just, I don't know, crawl for the rest of your life. No, definitely not, right? You'd encourage them to keep walking, and that's the whole idea with imperfect action. Because maybe they're really excited to do what mom and dad are doing, walking on their 2 feet instead of walking on all fours, and they try it, right? They're really confident, but then they realize they're not as good as they think they are, but they keep trying, right? And eventually they get better. They become competent when it comes to walking. So their confidence goes up, and eventually your kid starts to run. He starts to run. They start doing cool. They start doing like some crazy stuff, right? I'm into climbing, so I mean the whole parkour thing's a little like inside joke, but it's that whole idea. You know, you start on step one, because it's steps, right? You start on step one, which is walking, right? You make your way to step two and you fail, but it's okay because you keep trying, and then guess what? You're running now. And it's that whole idea. To give you another example, I'm a pretty avid snowboarder, I'd say. I really enjoy snowboarding, so whenever it's anyone's first time going snowboarding, I always tell them to go a second time. You know, I find out, they're going for the first time, definitely try it for a second time, because the first time you go snowboarding, I promise you, it's gonna suck. Unless like you've done skiing and you are comfortable on the hill and snow and stuff, it's gonna be tough, because you're gonna fall a lot, your butt's gonna hurt a lot, you're gonna fall there, you're gonna fall on your knees are gonna hurt, elbows, your wrists, your hands, right? And by the time you get home and you rest the day two, you're gonna be sore, you're gonna be really sore, and you're probably gonna question like, man, never again. But I promise, you go again, you're not gonna fall that many times. maybe you will if you didn't learn anything, but if you learned, you made some small adjustments, you're not gonna fall as many times, right? And that's kind of how it was for me. A fun little story is that my first time snowboarding, on top of all the bruises I got on my butt, the bruises I got on my knees, the pain I felt in my wrist and even my back, right? Because it's all like muscle pains. It's not used to it, just new. I also lost my car keys, right? I was all the way up 2 hours away from my house, and I had to ask my brother to bring spare keys. Because my first try, instead of going down green hills, which I kind of did do at first, I was encouraged to go down blue hills, which, if you know, it kind of goes green. The levels go green, blue, sometimes red, depending where you are. I think that's in Europe, but we don't have red here in Canada. So it's green, blue, black, and then it's double black, right? Double black obviously being the highest, green being the lowest. And so started off on the greens, the bunny hills is what they would call some of them, and I was encouraged to go to the blues. I tried the blues and I'm rolling, I'm tumbling, I'm having the worst time of my life. And to top it all off, I lose the car keys. Come on, man. It's crazy. It was a crazy experience. But even after all that was 4 or 5 years ago, and now I have snowboard gear, I have a board, I have things that I take care of it, right? It's fun. I like to go every season as much as I like to, and that's because I'm very confident in snowboarding now, and I feel I'm very competent, right? I'm trying to hit side hits, I'm trying to jump, I'm doing all these things. But if I stopped because of all the bad stuff that happened on day one, if I stopped, I wouldn't be able to enjoy the hills, the snow that I would be able to enjoy now, right? I have a goal of, using snowboarding as an excuse to kind of like venture out into the world, and enjoy that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't have been able to get there and do any of that if I stopped. So definitely, like, I encourage everyone who, if you're doing something new and you really want to learn it and you really want to get better at it, I really encourage you to keep going. It doesn't matter if you're doing perfectly or not. All that matters is you're making progress, because that's the name of the game. The name of the game is progress. We don't just do it perfectly on the first try. It doesn't happen. So it's a feedback of positive correction. So take action. Whether it's perfect or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you've tried your hardest, and if you just did it, get it over with, which is fine. Because trying your best is what matters most. It beats going with the motions, because going with the motions, you're kind of on autopilot, But you know what? I hope you learned something from this. I hope this gave you some sort of value in any way. And if you have any questions, definitely shoot down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to reply to anyone who has anything to say. Any kind of criticism, I'd love to hear as well. I'd love to get better. Right?